Okay, so we're now at the stage of the walk, part 2, where we're actually thinking about letting our dogs off. And what you'll see is that we've got a double clip lead on Magma. Now that might be attached to a harness for your dog. It might be, good girlie, it might be attached to a collar. And what we're gonna then be able to do is play what we call the double clip game. So first of all, I'm gonna handle the clip, handling it, and I'm gonna feed for staying in proximity. And then I might unclip one and see that she doesn't wanna go anywhere. I might reclip and see that that is a rewarding experience. And then I might again unclip one, see that she doesn't want to go anywhere, feed, and then I might reclip, and then I might feed to teach her that actually having her lead on is a good thing. And then I might unclip and I might feed, and then we're just going to walk on. We're not going to make a big deal of it. It's not going to be this big event where it's like, you get to go.
Now, when we're considering this with our dogs, actually the most important thing is that we're not making a huge event of being off leash. And equally, you can see here that Abra is also still remaining on lead. Yeah. And no, just for you guys that are kind of going, oh, maybe you feed your dogs too much. Here's the thing. Magma's at the stage where she's having a lot of reinforcement and she's a younger dog. Actually, we're at the stage where doing the things is rewarding in itself. Yeah. She loves to do the thing. And so what I hope you guys get to see is that, no, there is no big treat pouch or no big sort of, the reinforcement is being together and being around each other at this stage. Now, interestingly, and that's transfer of value, and that's when transfer of value really kicks in. Good. Interestingly, what I would also say is that Abra is not off lead, and while she's not off lead, you're not seeing a dog who's crazy possessed about being off lead, lunging, barking, squealing, over aroused, silly excited. I
don't see it.
I mean, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. And
that's through a combination of what you're seeing in Magma, the stages with Magma of rewarding proximity, rewarding check-ins, maybe offering the odd game so that she learns that the odd game is fun, the double clip game. And actually just ditching the routine of, you know, here is where we let our dogs off, you both go off at the same time. Actually, sometimes, even when we're scared of things, sometimes, you know what, Magma won't go off now.
And I think this is really important, that fair does not necessarily mean equal. Yeah. So some people might say, well, it's not fair. Why is she on a lead and she's off a lead? Well, actually, right now, it's appropriate for her to be off lead. When I want to let her off lead, I'll let her off lead too. But that doesn't mean necessarily, sometimes I might just do that as well, like take my hands to the collar, act like I'm gonna let off lead, but actually just carry on. And for me, I love this. I love this. Yeah. This is like a really empowering place to be when you know that this can happen. And this can all happen, guys, with your game. So a nice little lesson for you. You thought that was good? A nice little lesson for you. Really, fair does not mean equal. You don't have to let both your dogs off together. You can gradually grow that one dog might be off, one dog might be on. This might be you walking with your friends and your dog maybe isn't necessarily behaving and their dog is. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. When your dog isn't necessarily doing what you want them to be, you can leave them on a lead. Like, you don't have to have both dogs off leash at the same time. Okay, letting the second dog off lead. So actually, how might I go about that with her? Again, I'm not going to make it a big event. So I've unclipped the lead. I've popped the lead around my neck because often I drop them. We're not playing with anything. There's absolutely no balls around. And for me, you can see that actually there isn't any big deal about letting off the lead. Like, there's no massive sort of, it's not an event, right?
Both dogs in loose proximity.
Looser would be lovely, but you feel there might be a retrieve game in hand. So,
you know, being with us, being free, we've got a level of freedom right here, and yet our dogs are never going very far. We're not having to call them back because actually they're just right here going through this world with us together.
I know you would love this, and I know that you're sort of saying, how do I get this? How does this even happen? Like, how do I get to the stage where my dog does this? I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing we do through Sex and a Squirrel, right, Tom? Like, this is exactly the sort of thing we do through all of the games we play. So if you've been following us for a while, or if you've been working within the Absolute Dogs framework for a while, this is what games do. This is what games do. If you're brand new to this, however, this is where we start,
yeah,
right?
this is where we start with these tips, and your next step would be to get involved in that Sexier Than a Squirrel challenge, because wow, that was close. To give yourself freedom, like the freedom that allows your dog to almost wee on your foot, you actually need to have a level of trusting your dog, and your dog actually want to choose you over the environment. Like, there are all kinds of things here.
We've got sheep, we've got cattle, we've got ponies, we've got deer, and I can see 3 of those within, like, literally sheep, baby lambs, cattle, ponies, deer, rabbits, critters of all kinds, pheasants, because it's that time of year.
Open space. And actually, I'm just thinking about this. We hadn't even mentioned this. This is the first time Magma's been to this place. This is not a walk that we've trained on. Instead, actually, this is just the result of the games at home.
And this is a huge result of games at home, because also I should add that these 2 dogs have never been out together, because actually they haven't been in close proximity, because we haven't been in this scenario, right?
Exactly. So with that, guys, that was this episode of Absolute Dogs TV. What we're going to talk about in the next episode, episode 3, is we are going to be talking about how to end a walk effectively, and our top tips for bringing that walk to an end. So we'll see you in the next episode. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you in the next episode.
See you soon.
Remember, game changers, whatever the dog owning struggle, there's a game for that.
If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to our channel.
And check out our new 25-day online dog training challenge. Watch the videos, play the games, transform your dog owning struggles.
As a loyal YouTube subscriber, you can get a 70% discount through the link in the description below.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to the #1 most transformational dog training podcast on iTunes and Spotify, the Sexier Than a Squirrel podcast.
And remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more live teaching, video content and free training using the links in the description.